Here's the deal. It's not a profit model, although I'm not saying that doesn't exist. It does. People are going to go click on like red pill, rage bait, outrage brokership. I get it. You go, hey, Rashid Hose kicked off a Fresh and Fit, held accountable. Yeah, we get her, Kevin Samuels, get her. Like that's always going to sell. Sizzle will always outsell steak every fucking time. Don't be surprised when it does. Got it? That I would say, I can't speak. You know what? I'm going to tell you why I have a problem with CGA right here. Number one is this. He came into this space. What was it, 2016? 2016, maybe it's 2017. He came into the space writing on the MGTOW hashtag. If you look at the channels that he has a dozen different sub channels right now. That screams to me grifter. Sorry, I know he's good. I know there's, no disrespect, but I'm medium is the message. I'm looking at that and I'm going, maybe he's got something else. I had to go and look and, make sure it's going on. So I had a problem with that because he comes in as a MGTOW. And by the way, so did Joker and so did a bunch of, he came in about the same time really as the rest of these guys. And they saw it as how to get rich online really quickly. And maybe he wanted, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But it appeared to me at the time that the trending hashtags at that time were MGTOW, Black Pill, MRA, I think for a little while. And then of course it was, never get married. And it's always going to sell. That's always going to get eyes on the screen. He's not wrong about that. Revenge will always sell. Divorce, don't get married, hold women accountable. And when doomers hold women accountable, it's usually get her, Kevin. You're average at best. Get her. That's because they get off on pro-revenge because it's like somebody's saying what they've wanted to say for a long time and they can't. Like, here's the Joker. The Joker is and I don't mean Joker from Better Bachelor. I mean like the Joker of the movie. Like, finally someone has written a story about me. Finally we to have our come up. And so when that is the hot thing and you come in on that wave and yet you don't have a background in the red pill per se, like the red pill as a praxeology, not an ideology, Hafiz, then I kind of have to raise an eyebrow. That's number one. Number two, works with Anthony Johnson. End of story. Done. That's enough. That would be enough right there. I don't deal with anybody who doesn't have the sense not to work with Anthony Johnson. I don't work with anybody who hasn't figured that shit out. Even George Bruno, he fucked over George Bruno. Even pretty much everybody that Anthony Johnson has ever worked with will tell you, I can't believe this guy. He turned into a psychopath. I don't even know. Couldn't even tell that this is the same guy. I see the emails. I see the text exchanges. If you think that you're going to build your brand because you have an association with Anthony Johnson, then I got to say, you know what? Vaya con Dios, man. I'm not going to work with you and I don't want to have anything to do with you. I sure as shit don't want to be having a conversation with you. And then that's part of your dissertation at the 21 convention, which by the way, has more speakers than it has attendees this year for the second year in a row. I'm simply not going to have that association with you. If you think, hey, I'm getting invited to Orlando, this is a great opportunity. If you think that that's a great opportunity, yeah, I think perhaps your motives for getting into this space are not what you're pretending they are. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Maybe you're just, hey man, I wanted to start a business with the guy. So that's on me. I'll hold myself accountable for my stupidity, but at least I will, and I will recognize that. But when you want to know why we didn't, like myself, Rich Cooper, Modern Life John, Ryan, Troy, there's a list of other guys too. The reason why we don't work with people who work with Anthony Johnson, that's why. Because if you're not smart enough to have figured that out, then God bless you. That's another one. And then what's the third one? Oh, God. Okay, so let me explain one more thing to you here. The reason why I do not work with, and maybe this isn't directly his fault, but one of the reasons I don't work with CGA or I've never been on a show with him. I'm not anti CGA, but I will say this. I am anti people coming at your kids. And I don't know if CGA even knows this, but I think it was it would have to have been after 2019, I think. Maybe around 2019. Maybe it was 2020. I'm not really sure which year it was. It's somewhere between 2019 and 2020. When CGA first came on the scene, he had a huge, he wasn't as big. I don't think he was as big in the Black Manosphere as he is right now. I think he was really sort of like a MGTOW sweetheart, and he's kind of pivoted into the Black Manosphere. Great. Good move, actually. However, when he came in on the really militant, dark, doom pill MGTOW, and probably didn't realize he was doing this because I don't think he was familiar enough with the community or the niche. But when he came in, I want to say it was like February of 2020. I think Rich Cooper had said something. He made one comment on a CGA video. Oh, no, it was CGA. I know what it was. No, Rich had said something about MGTOWs. And he said something bad about MGTOWs, which we always do. Okay, MGTOWs are losers, right? Well, he said that, and then what CGA said was, "Oh, you're alienating your audience, presuming that Rich Cooper's audience happened to be MGTOWs, because that's Red Pill. What? This is MGTOW, right?" And so you get this tribalism, this tribe and this team versus team mentality, and maybe CGA wasn't aware of this, so I don't know for sure. If I talked to him, he'd probably say he wasn't. But I don't know. It happened a while ago. But what happened was all Team MGTOW, who was on the CGA team, decided that they were going to go give Rich Cooper a bunch of shit. They were going to ride his dick for Team CGA. And they took it too far. And they went after his kid. And I'm not going to get into detail because I respect Rich Cooper's privacy, but they went after his kid and his kid's little kid's YouTube channel. And they started not only trolling Rich's channel, but the MGTOWs who followed CGA started trolling Rich Cooper's channel. And that's where I was like, okay, not going to happen. And that's why I'm not going to tell people how to run their shows, but like when CGA was on Fresh and Fit, like, yeah, you want to be on with Fresh and Fit? I'm like, no. Or with CGA, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. And so it was like sort of policy, and it was just like, I don't know, it just left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm glad he did well here, by the way. I'm catching him doing something very good. But I feel like I need to explain the history here. And so the deal breaker, I think the big deal breaker was the MGTOWs who used to follow, maybe they still do, I don't know, follow CGA, came at Rich Cooper's daughter. And don't say, oh, are you sure about that? I know, I saw the posts. I was there, Gandalf. I saw what happened. Again, that's my hell. I can remember those things. I probably have screen caps of some of them. So sorry, Craig Adams, but it is what it is. However, I think he did really good here. So that's why I am hesitant anyways to really work with CGA.
Essentially, your biggest problem with the Red Pill community is that it's all negative. It's all insurance. It's all what could happen bad.
And they have to be real. There's an incentive structure for it. I shared some of these numbers. I'm gonna share some of these numbers with you. I did a video because it's so funny because the Red Pill community, those kind of guys,
hold on, let me stop here real quick because people are saying you can't blame. Okay, I'm not blaming CGA for that. Where'd you go? I'm not blaming him for the trolls. I'm blaming him for not knowing the audience that he was pandering to when he first came into this. He did nothing to stop them. He didn't, and probably because he didn't know to stop them, but he did nothing to stop them after the fact that after it was very, very public at that time. So again, that's why it's not that I'm blaming him for the trolls. I'm just saying that when guys come into the Red Pill or the Manosphere and they go, I'm going to start an online brand. Let's see, money, muscles, and game. How about game? Let's get into game. What's trending in game? Tap. Oh, MGTOW. I'll put that as in my profile, right? To start up, and then you go and do a 80-page pamphlet, you sell it on Gumroad, and then now you're an author, right? There's like, I know what funnel marketing is. I've been doing this. I've been in this fucking hustle economy for long enough to know how funnel marketing works. Oh, let's do a class. Oh, let's do a book. Would you like me to do a show on why successful people don't teach success? I could do that show. I'm going to do that show. I'm going to write that down. That is going to go in the great big book of everything. The show on why successful people never teach success. Why you don't see Elon Musk at these, how to be a successful guy. Why is it that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos don't do, engagements with Patrick Bet-David and Tony Robbins? I can do that show if you would like. However, I'm not blaming. Let me be clear. I'm not blaming CGA for his trolls. I'm blaming him for not knowing that that's what was going to happen in the first place. I'm not blaming him at all, really, at least for that instance. I am definitely blaming him for thinking that, Anthony Johnson is a good idea. But that more or less, like working with Anthony and working with the 21 convention, that's just confirmation that he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, or he didn't. Maybe he does now. And then you're looking at a guy who's got a dozen different sub channels. That's funnel marketing, guys. 101. How come Rollo doesn't have more channels? Yeah, because I'm not a grifter. I have clips channels. I have a clips channel and I have a main channel. I mean, as far as the ones that I'm the proprietor of, and I always have. And I've been writing books a lot longer than even CGA's been around, or anyone else for that matter.